I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Akio Ohtori joins me. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hey, please introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Akio Ohtori. I'm Sailor VTuber. I've just recently had my 2.0 and on vacation mode and summertime mode.
Cool.
Play a variety of different games. Started out horror and then just been on a cozy streak recently.
If I started out on horror, I'd be on a hide under the bed streak.
Fair enough.
The horror games and I don't get along very well. It's just maybe I'm a scaredy cat. So what? Somebody's got to be. So why did you get started with VTubing, and when did you get started?
Say VTubing itself, my journey is a weird one, for lack of a better term, because technically I've been in and out of streaming for about a decade. Yeah, just over a decade. Yeah. Like face cam using Hanako 1.0, drawn by really talented artist who is unfortunately not with us anymore. But
and you just stayed with it, or did you jump in and out of it over the years?
It's jumped in and out over the years, and just kind of eventually kind of started, like in the past couple of years, just taking looking at the VTuber approach. But of course, biggest obstacle for most is getting stuff made.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing for some. I mean, there's some areas where they'll actually, the folks at Irium will do a thing where you start off with the model and you earn it as you go. But usually if you're starting off on your own, it's a little bit of money to get started the right way. And
yeah, it is.
Yeah, but you kind of had all the other ingredients, did you? I mean, you had the microphone and the computer that could do it, so you didn't have to put out that expense.
Yeah, computer, desktop, I always kept it over the year. The only real upgrades I've had to do in the past year would have been the microphone and, basically the microphone upgrade, because I was using my headset before as my mic, and that one could get either way.
Yes. Yeah, so the gaming headset, or was it a microphone headset?
It's a gaming one I used when I played competitive Siege back in the day.
There you go. Yeah. I say when folks tell me about headsets, I'm thinking about the headsets we used to use for basketball games and baseball games. And those things were perfectly fine. I wish I had one now. I wish I would have just stolen one. Because it cost too much. But they always had decent microphones, and they were really good setups.
What?
But the problem comes when you get a kink in the wire, and then they're absolutely useless. Tough to fix at that point. So you were a competitive player, huh?
For about a year, I was able to do it seriously because I was in that transition between military and civilian work. Yeah.
So how'd you do?
Did good enough on the weekend tournament. Got placed at least once on a weekend tournament, but that was about as far as I could go. But that was also about as far as I can put the time in, though, too.
Yeah. How long did it take you to prepare for one of those events?
Normally, technically, I was always practicing. I was, like, when I was doing the Siege thing competitively, it was legitimately, like, 6+ hours a day.
Wow.
Just do a couple terrorist hunts. Well, when they still had it in play.
Right.
Do some casual. Do a little bit of competitive, and then just cool down with casual again. Yeah.
So right now you're kind of in a casual part of your VTubing. What casual games are you playing?
This morning I actually just played is it Thrifty Business? Yeah.
What's that one about?
It's you're basically running a thrift store in a small town in England, it seems. The gameplay, it's my own weird brain mood on it. It's like The day-to-day is like has the normal repetitiveness that you get from like most cozy games, but this one actually has a lot more character stories going on with it, and that's the main reason to kind of keep going with it.
Yeah,
is to see all these other characters you run into with, like, in their character growth.
Okay, that's cool. It's got that. You have the cozy, repetitive, sit in the armchair stuff, but still enough enough pepper to keep you wanting to know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And are there other cozy games you like to play?
Bookshop Simulator. Played that one at almost ad nauseum to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for the next major update and it's pre-release.
Yeah. You played that one. You've sold every book more than once.
Oh, sell at the shop more than once, and the shops get ridiculous as you progress that one.
Yeah.
Because say with that one, I like a bit more than the other one so far because you get multiple locations. You aren't just stuck in the same like retail location type of thing where you just kind of slowly grow. Like, what is it? Retro Rewind, for instance. You have the one shop for now.
Right.
Bookshop Sim, you currently have 3. So you start in your very small one, you kind of grow it up, and then I'll go to the next one.
Yeah.
More space to grow, and you kind of grow that one up. Then you get an even bigger bookshop.
So does it ramp up the difficulty with that as well?
Kind of, sorta. It's so when you start in a new shop, it's a soft reset.
Mm-hmm.
So you start off with the same basic 4 squares before, but like in this case, you buy the rights to a book to sell. You keep those rights from location to location, so you can start organizing how you want to organize in the new location.
Okay. So you have to choose what books you want to sell. So if you choose wrong, you're up the creek.
Customers generally kind of get the thing. Like my method was just buying complete series.
Okay.
And
yeah,
but you can also recommend books to customers that walk in. It's you'll see 3 options. Oh yeah, you're looking for this type? Here's the nonfiction that you were looking. Here I recommend, and they'll just take it and buy it.
Yeah,
as well on top of all the other books they'll buy.
Okay, you have to do a little salesmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine would be just hit them with the book and say, you damaged it, now pay for it. After trying to sell so many things on the radio over the years, I'm pretty much done with selling things.
Fair enough.
Take it now. So as you get to the bigger to the end of it with a bigger store, do you have more books that you can choose from, or are you still...
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's 2 leveling systems. You have each store has its own level, but you also have the player level, and the player level, as you go that up, you can choose. Normally, it's 1 license from the normal book series, or from the list of books that you have out. But you can also create custom books, though, too.
Oh. So you kind of make your own books that way.
That you will sell on the shelves, certain ones, like the special ones, every day that crafting station, for lack of a better term, sits in the shop. Yeah. Every day that passes, it increases the amount that book will sell by $1 before you create it and sell it.
Oh, okay. So you kind of just wait and wait and wait until you get a good mark and then put it out there.
Yeah, I think because the base rate for those ones is $40 per book. I think the highest one I was patient enough for was $60, but that was because I wanted to complete my own, the ones that I was making for me.
Yeah.
But the ones I did for chatters, I did those ones on the other one, which are almost instantly available.
Yeah, and those still run about $40.
Those ones are, I want to say, 15-ish, I think, because you can adjust the prices on them, but it's a more flat rate, but I can increase or decrease depending on how it is. I can either sub-sort them with whatever genre they want,
Yeah.
that they chose, or right now I just have them on their own bookshelf.
Do you ever have? Can you have events in the shop?
Not yet that
Mm,
I've seen,
mm.
but it's also early access though, so it could be something they
Ah.
put down the road.
Oh yeah, I would like to see him do some like author signings and stuff like that, or having to do sales or Christmas, holiday sales. People coming in and just running it over, buying everything that's there. Yeah.
With 4 tills running, it gets itself overrun already.
There's too many people sell stuff. Yeah. Have you tried that one card shop game simulator?
I have not tried Card Shop Simulator. It is on my radar,
Mm.
but I got other games in a Steam library since the dawn of the Orange Box to get through.
You have a laundry list. Is what you want to get to. What's the game you really want to do, but you haven't actually gotten to do it yet?
Um, Kind of all over because it's part of me wants to. There's some games I want to revisit now with like the with the rebrand. Like it'd be fun to go back to like Kingdom Hearts or something like that, but
Mhm.
because I played a lot of it when they came out,
Right.
it's really hard for me to sit through the cutscenes again.
Yeah, that is the thing. And yeah, some cutscenes are to me are fine when you're first playing the game or second time, but if you're it certainly hurts replayability. I think if even if you have different lines, different storylines you can go down, you still have to go through the same cutscenes over and over again, and it's just like, can I shut this off? Um, that was a problem with the games like Diablo 1 and 2 for me. I wanted to go through them again, but cutscenes. I don't want to deal with the cutscenes. Uh, that they won't let you pass. So at least they couldn't in the
Mm-hmm.
versions I had. As far as the other types of games, not just the cozy ones, what ones are in your library that you'd say you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed Elden Ring quite a bit
Hmm.
when I was on that streak of just playing that nonstop for about a month as well for
Yeah,
streaming.
yeah.
Um, Deconstruction Simulator was one that I played for a while.
Now, that
Gonna
would
go
be
back to
that would be interesting to do too. That would be interesting.
that one is fun.
Yeah.
I should go back and revisit Fatal Frame too, but it is one of those where I'm replaying the remake. I know what they changed. I'm at the house I hate the most, regardless of the version.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
one's at a pause point.
Yeah. There's a few games that I've enjoyed for dozens of years. Um, that I will go back and play up to a certain point because I don't care what happens after that. It's like, well, there's only one thing to do after this, and I didn't want to do it, so I'll just go back and start over.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think I got a couple anomaly games I've played on stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those ones are fun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you ever have people request games to you?
Not really. Generally, it's like, oh, this game seems like fun. Right now, it's all just how I'm vibing, or if I'm debating between two, I'll generally put up a post with a poll
Yeah.
like a day before or
Yeah.
early enough in the day if I remember.
Will they
Or just
go for the action or will they go for the calm?
that kind of depends.
Mm.
One of the things I got to do though is go back see how 1.0 has affected VR for Phasmo because I know how broken that was and ways that were easy to fix.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they keep adding so much more stuff to it, that Phasmophobia. And I remember seeing people going out in the very first time, and I think it was actually Markiplier and his group were going out on it. And I'm like, oh, this seems fun, but it's very, very limited. After you get I think there were just 6 types of ghosts. Like after you've done that, there's really not much to do. Now there's like how many? 40 different types of ghosts?
They oddly enough they also just added 2 more for this update
Oh
too.
God.
But I will say this is probably their best event they've ever done though with
Mm.
Alan Wake.
Mm. Okay.
Like, honestly, it's the best event they've done since launch.
Well, see, that's being nimble as a programmer, I guess, is seeing where, and I think we'll see more games like this where they put out a version and then hear what people want added to it, and then they'll add it along the way. And they'll update and update and update and update and build their game that way. Maybe it's a shortcut, but at the end, you've got people who are pretty happy.
Yeah, I will say Phasmo is a good example of an early access for a while going into release. On the other hand, you have 7 days.
Yeah.
Honest, I like the earlier 7 days to die. I don't know when they did something that just threw the line over, but it went from enjoyable where I could just play nonstop for hours to grinding.
Some people love the grinding,
Yeah, but I shouldn't need an EX. I shouldn't have to read a book to use a gun I found on the ground.
That's true, and that is, it's just a simple revolver, but you have to read these 2 books in order to do it. You don't have the experience to use that revolver.
It's like cooked long enough, cooked way too long.
Yeah, put too much into that one. Well, another game, No Man's Sky came out, and while it looked fabulous, it certainly wasn't much of a game, and people got upset with it. But since then, they've added so much to it that people are enjoying it now.
Yeah, that's a good self-correction on that one.
Yeah, and I think that when you see, also, if you have a game that you can add things to it, that means you don't have to come up with another game and worry about whether that engine will work or whether you have to change the engine and tick off a lot of people in the process. You stick with the common road and do it until it can't go anymore.
Live service games in a nutshell.
Yeah. Or some people look at Pokemon. That's the same game every single time.
Slight tweak,
but people like it. So what the heck? I mean, they're making money. I'm not. So there you go. That's how it works.
There you go.
If you were able to put together a game, what type would it be, and would you add a little spin on it?
Oh, that is an interesting one, because it is one of those thoughts, because I used to do a lot of FPS. One thing that I know a lot of FPSs do not do well is the general actual spaceness you have on vessels, on ships.
Yeah. It's a
lot more claustrophobic than what the games make it seem like.
Well, Yeah, I mean, you can't take a submarine and put 20,000 tons of things on it and expect it to work. Again, you've got to have people that you can rely on that know how these things work in order for it to go. Because imagine, have you got now, because of your service, are there games that you've started and found so unrealistic that you couldn't play it anymore?
Game-wise?
Yeah.
I don't think there's been one I stopped, but I generally vent the games a little bit better. Like, in weird ways. Like, I'll say, exclude Siege with how far it's jumped off so far.
Right.
But it was probably between that or The Division, I would say, the studio that used to handle the Tom Clancy used to be one of the best ones when it came to a lot of the military realism.
Right.
But then you have, I'm trying to, can't think of off the top of my head. Oh, so much brain.
It there. I tell you, I played on the old Commodore 64, Red Storm Rising, and it was wonderful. It was one of my favorite games of all time on the Commodore 64. It you I in fact I played it with the lights out because I wanted to have the whole experience, And the sonar, the depth charges, the different missiles you could use and torpedoes, it all really added to the game itself. What you had to do to keep quiet in the ocean as much as possible. It was really added a lot to it, and I always wanted to. And for some reason, I've just never followed up on any of those Tom Clancy games. But that was as a strategic game was really good.
Yeah, Studio used to be good. I honestly, I don't think I've ran too much into the game.
Mm.
To be fair, I tend to vet my games a little bit more when I purchase them than like a TV show or something like that that's on a streaming service.
Right.
Those I've stopped watching other things due to military service over stop playing a game because gaming is a little bit easier to get in the moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of accept the different reality a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, this gun shouldn't be able to do that. that type
or
of
if
thing.
gun can do this, logic behind it is solid in the game.
Yes.
It is solid for the universe that it is in.
Yes. Yes. Well, the Fallout series has a couple of guns that are just like, what? And if you've got a gun that can send somebody flying, teacup over kettle, and then they get back up and come back at you again, then what the hell are you shooting?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody goes cartwheeling across when you shoot them, they should die. As far as I'm concerned, in the game. I mean, for crying out loud. But but then you're also dealing with mutants and that type of thing. So I don't know. Have you ever played those series?
I played a few,
Mm-hmm.
but not to completion.
Yeah.
Just one of those where, I think for most of Fallout, or most of the time that Fallout was going through its kind of swings, I had other major game releases that I was more interested in.
Yeah.
I like Mass Effect, going through that trilogy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What is your best? What if you got one chance to play one horror game online on your stream, what would it be?
Out of any horror game,
Hmm?
honestly, I would like to play Calling.
Calling. All right, I'm not.
It is
not familiar with that one.
It is a Wii title that it is hard to explain, and it's actually almost impossible to remake because it actually. So it's it's a Japanese horror where basically like early days of internet type logic where black site leads to ghost haunting
Right.
via the cell phone.
Okay.
When your cell phone would ring in the game, it would actually be the Wiimote. And you'd actually have to hold it up and answer it, and the voice would come out of there.
Oh, that was pretty brilliant, actually.
Yeah, it is such a good game. It'd be really hard to remake to give that same feeling that you would get on the Wii.
Yeah, I don't see how you could. The controllers aren't built that way, for one. You'd have to get special controller for that. But that was, oh man, that would be so cool, and also absolutely frighten me out of my gourd.
Yeah, and it's and one of the publishers for it was Hudson, the same ones who do Kirby and Smash Bros.
Kirby. Perfect. And you expect that type of thing out of Hudson. But so the gameplay itself, what's it like?
It's horror survival, like it's within the same horror survival style, but it's it's interesting in its own way because it still follows because it's all like Japanese dealing with Japanese horror type of thing, similar to how like the latest or generally like how Fatal Frame or the Fatal Frame series and the latest Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Where you have very limited, like you really don't have an ability to fight back against the supernatural.
Right.
You just have to escape
and
survive.
Yes. It that would I would be so out of my mind doing that game. It's like and frustrated. I would be so frustrated so fast. Do you ever get that way with these games, or does that just make you grit your teeth and try again?
Oh, I'm stubborn. There's a reason why Elden Ring I played nonstop. I'm like, I could go level up, or I can just get good. I am the type of person who played Dark Souls 2, like on PC, with the horrible PC setup that they gave us.
Yes. And you were determined. You were going to do it that way, and you were going to get good at it. You already kind of mentioned that you're not a grinder. You don't go out and go 25 hours killing the same thing over and over again.
No, this is 25 hours just trying to kill the one thing.
Yes. And not advancing while you're doing it. Yeah.
To be fair, in Dark Souls though, they're more like the bosses were more like puzzles, for lack of a better term, though, where you just got to figure out their patterns, and regardless of level, then it's just an endurance test if you figure out the pattern.
Yeah. Well, that also takes things like reflexes. And at this age, they ain't as good as they used to be, and they weren't that good to begin with. Because I didn't play a whole lot of those games. I see a lot of these games now. I'm 60 now, but I still play games. But if I look at the like Overwatch or the Marvel Heroes, I can't even see what's going on. It's like, okay, you just shoot randomly, I guess, and let whatever lands. How about you? Have you tried those games, and do they fit what you like to do?
So, like with the hero shooter, like as I said, like I played Siege back in the day, which I played Siege, played the original Overwatch for a bit when that came out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have not tried the newer ones. I haven't tried Marvel. Was it Marvel Rivals?
Marvel Rivals, I think it is. Yeah.
Because honestly, wasn't interested in it.
Yeah.
And haven't really been much in the like anything that is PvP hero shooters is tend to avoid because that's generally brings out more rage than anything else.
Yes, it certainly would. I would be so useless in that sort of thing. I just kind of show up and fall down. That would be pretty much it, because I wouldn't be able to figure it. Like it's just too much for me. I mean, Fallout was about my level, I think. Eventually I'm going to play Fallout 4, but I could get to New Vegas. Okay. My computer wouldn't run Fallout 4, but I will eventually get one that will. That's about it for me. I think that anything else moves too fast. Have you ever had a game that was just, too overwhelming for you to get going on, or did you just grit your teeth and keep going?
I gotta think of it's like between that, like one of the games I can't stream because other things are my rhythm games. So, and that requires a whole new level of perfectionism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you use the helmet for that, or did you use something else?
For those, it depends. I got them on Switch. I got ones on PC. The PC one's even crazier because I can use my personal music library for it.
Cool.
And it makes the track based off of the song, so that one generates based off of the BPMs and all that other jazz. Well, like console ones and main releases are set up by the devs or whatever. You go through the basic difficulty just to kind of figure it out, and then you go ham from there on the 1 or 2 difficulties up.
I've watched my grandson do it with the helmet, and it's pretty hilarious to watch him. But we can also see what he's seeing on a phone next to it, and I'm amazed at how that 10-year-old can do it. Just
Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Beat Saber is actually one of the easier rhythm games.
Yeah, but I mean, he's 10. When I was 10, I couldn't do any of that stuff. We were playing, of course, when I was 10, we didn't even have Pong yet. That's
fair.
Yeah.
I think best way to view Beat Saber is, you're sword fighting, but you're dual wielding.
Yeah. Yeah. And he gets on Fortnite every once in a while and does surprisingly well. And I'm pretty amazed by that. But do you ever use the helmet for anything else, or do you ever use it for that?
So I've used it. I do have Beat Saber on there.
Mm.
I've also played Help Wanted,
Mm-hmm.
Off stream on there
Yeah.
because I don't have my so I got games directly on my headset,
Right.
but most of the games I stream I have on Steam and just link it up.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So the games I played from there are like, as I said, Phasmo. I've streamed from VR, and that one is I have not watched back any video, and it's really weird because the setup for VR takes a lot more because I have to set up chat differently.
Yeah.
But I did that one, and there was technically an escape room game. I did Out of Sight.
Okay.
That one in VR is fun. Because it's a second person game.
Yeah. So it's not, you're not going as first person, you're going as, oh, that's tough. That kind of defeats the purpose of the helmet, doesn't it?
Not really, because it's from second person, so second person, you aren't able to move, but the character you're controlling is able to move, but you can be put down elsewhere and you can still control the other character.
Oh.
It is weird. It's hard to explain, but if you see gameplay of it, you'll understand what I mean by it's technically a second person game.
Yeah, I don't know. The concept is kind of making my brain hurt. And I'm not the best with balance anyway. I don't know if I'd be able to stand that helmet for very long. But
fortunately, this one you can actually stand still and play most of it. You just kind of turn your head. So this one, sit down and if you get an office chair to get comfort in, put helmet on. You can adjust it to however you want, and you can literally just turn your office chair when you have to turn your body.
Cool. That does sound like a lot of fun. I do like watching my son-in-law and grandson play, though. It's fun to see them flailing about in the air.
Yeah, there was one other really good VR game that I played a lot. Oh, I got to remember where it is. Not that one.
Was it a shooter or a saber or what?
It's an escape room game.
Oh,
secondly.
It
was an escape room game where you didn't have to move. Last Labyrinth.
Last Labyrinth. Okay, so you didn't have to move. You said.
Yeah. So, and it stays within character. It actually tells you at the very beginning, after you get the headset on and everything, that you should be playing from a seated position.
Okay.
Because the character you're playing as is stuck in a seated position.
Oh.
And you kind of click a button to indicate, to send tap, to point at something.
Right.
And that's kind of how you control the other character to kind of help solve the puzzles.
Oh, okay. So, but it's a first person thing. I mean, you're controlling.
Yeah, you're actually your own character. You have own complete somewhat autonomous movement, even though you're kind of latched down.
Right.
But you're just kind of dictating where the character should go.
Ah. Oh, I could see
to kind of help.
I can see a whole nuclear family sitting around the table at supper with, jamming food in their mouth and playing the game at the same time.
Yeah, Last Labyrinth definitely within the horror genre though,
Yeah.
for its own reason.
Oh, well, don't spoil it for anybody, but I imagine there'd be times when I would need a change of clothes, something like that. The jump scare on that would be really really frightening. I'd probably lose a few months off the end of my life or something like that.
Oh, the jump scares are different for sure. I will say that.
Okay.
It's not like FNAF jump scares.
Oh well, that's good. I just watching people play that freaks me out. So when you're on stream, when you first got started as a face cam streamer, and to now when you're doing the VTuber, what is the difference in how you handle it? I mean, do you think that you are a different person from then, or how is it different?
I think a lot of it, like some of it is different, like learning from different things that have happened over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like when I first kind of started, it was mostly 14 live streaming, like doing my runs, my dailies, and that type of thing.
Right.
Then the work-life balance thing. Then
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of learned like because before really didn't have to worry about chat because I was still kind of debating between like Twitch, YouTube early on.
Right.
So most of those were on YouTube at the time
Mm-hmm.
because then they really didn't have the same chat functionality type
Right.
of thing set up.
Yeah.
So it not as much chat interaction required.
Right. So now are you on Twitch most of the time?
Mostly on Twitch right now, yeah.
Yeah. And that difference, is it tough for you to concentrate on some of those horror games if you've got a chat going that's peppering you with questions?
Not really, because I honestly get more tunnel vision on the game, but I literally have an iPad in front of me now that I have chat pulled up on whenever I'm playing. So that way I don't always have to look to the right, but I have to get used to not having to look to the right to look at chat. The reason I want chat pulled up is because mod view, for some stupid reason on mobile Twitch, does not actually indicate events that are happening.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So if somebody redeems something, like the hydrate or whatever, I can't see who did it. It doesn't give the same type of thing like if you were a normal chat where it'd go, oh, so-and-so redeemed hydrate.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be. I wouldn't understand why they would even make it that way. And that seems to be pretty self-defeating in that sort of thing. But you found the workaround.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my monitor's offset enough where primary screen's in front of me with the camera up.
Yeah.
Right screen is off to the side. It's similar to what I've had for very long time at this point.
Mm. Have you become able to use clickers, controllers, anything like that with both hands, or are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed when it comes to mouse and keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it makes, I'm just second nature. I was fortunate enough I'm part of the 90s generation that went through the transition between analog to digital, and was fortunate enough in one of my elementary schools that they got the apples in there, and we were learning how to do stuff on apples. Back in the early day of the whole rainbow computer, rainbow Apple computers.
Yeah, when we started in, I believe it was 83. We had our first computer classes at our high school. And that was the year I graduated, but it was Apple IIs, and I just took that like a duck into water. I was programming all sorts of stuff, and then when I started work the year afterwards, basically, I immediately bought a Commodore 64, which was, you could do that on one check back then. Try doing that now. But it was the same programming. It was the same basic so I was programming on that too. It was so much fun. But now I don't even know what language people are using to program.
Most people use Java
Yeah, I never got into all of my stuff was text anyway. So
or not Java, Python. There
yeah,
we go.
Python and all that stuff. I uh, I see people doing stuff with now with the games, and I'm like, good to them. It would hurt my brain, but it was just so much fun. And starting off with that Apple and being able to graduate to the Commodore was very lucky on my part, I think, um, because the Commodore lasted a long, long time. Matter of fact, somebody's put out a mini Commodore 64 plug and play.
Nice.
Yeah, some of the games on there. That Commodore 64 used to be able to had cartridges for a while. You could put like a Donkey Kong or a Dig Dug in there, and it looked like the arcade stuff. Which,
Nice.
for a computer back then was really something. Of course, the
Yeah.
arcades were easy
My
too.
yeah, the first console I played on was the SNES
Mm, yeah.
with Link's Awakening. Or not Link's Awakening, Link to the Past.
Link to the
Link's
Past.
Awakening was my first
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance,
There
or
you
not
go.
Game Boy, Game Boy uh, game I just loved beyond belief until Pokemon
Yeah.
and that trend began.
Yeah. You fell into the Pokemon category. I had the NES and really got into Super Mario, which I did eventually beat at 4 o'clock in the morning. Zelda, Punch Out, and Tetris. I didn't really go into any of the games. Just those were enough to keep me occupied. And
Yeah.
you play Tetris all day if you wanted to. But my first console was Pong.
Nice.
It was a Sears Pong, and it had Pong hockey, which is basically Pong, and street hockey, which was basically Pong with more things to rebound off of.
Pong, and then Pong with extra steps.
That's right, Pong and more Pong. But we played that for a long, long time. But that's how you talk about OG gaming. That's OG gaming right there. You can't get much earlier than that as far as the video game goes. I would really like to see some of these real hotshot folks in a Pong tournament. See if they even know how to play.
Say, give them a little bit of time with the joystick, they'd probably figure it out quickly. It'd just be figuring out the lag compensation of the input to the.
Well, there's no input. I mean, it's just the spinner control. And give them the old spinner control. They'd be like, "Where's my power up?" No power up. Just hit the ball. That's
Yeah, because there are some iterations that do pop up. Like I know Mario Party occasionally, I think, had one in one of their mini games where it's similar.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah,
but it's just,
it shows up right in the middle of what you're doing for some reason. But yeah, that was the big thing back then, and then it was asteroids for a long time. So do you have any big plans for your channel this year? Have you got any events on the horizon you'd like to push?
I was gonna say my next big event isn't until August, where I'm going to do my very first subathon.
Oh yeah, have you started planning already?
Started planning. I got the time off for work for it,
Mm-hmm.
so that way I can do the entire week for it.
Yes.
To work on it.
Yeah.
And mostly focus on trying to fundraise for to get a very much needed medical procedure out of the way, and then anything extra going to a charity that's that helps out people in my situation as well.
Well, make sure, please, to put that in my Discord and promote it there too, because that's what it's there for, to help people out as much as possible. Have you figured out what games you're going to do, or is that still up in the air?
Honestly, still up in the air because I don't pay nearly as close to gaming media as I used to, but that's the game media's own fault.
Well, yeah. Well, you mean you hear some of these folks, especially the bigger companies, actually getting mad at VTubers for using their games. Like, what are you talking about? I, it makes no sense. They're getting free advertising for crying out loud.
Yeah, I'm like, as long as the game is good, or if I see enough gameplay, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like something I'd play.
Yeah.
I'd play it, but I have essentially 6, 7, 8 hour days I got to fill time with. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of gaming I can do.
Well, make sure if you can get a lot of cooperation with it. Have you been able to do very many collaborations?
Done. Most of mine are with either like Sweet or Sakura. Done some with Ravenox before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But my work schedule is just too complicated for me to try to safely set up schedules
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
collabing.
Oh, my big bugaboo in scheduling ends up being the time switch, because all the countries do it differently, or they don't do it at all at different times of the year. And I'm like, I always end up 1 hour late or early or something. It just like it's really tough to deal with. But if you got that going on, you'll be able to get everybody into your schedule, because you'll be able to put that in concrete and go from there. So I hope you're able to get a lot of people to collab with you.
Yeah, I got somebody who I've wanted to collaborate with again for a while, and who's wanted to collaborate with me again for a while. So I just got to remember to DM him or ask to DM him.
So put the DM in now with a timer on it. I wish that would work. I had I've been using the same email now since the email existed, and it's a Netscape.net email, which basically is AOL because they just bought them. But I always use Netscape.net because I have so many blocks on that. Nothing gets through. There's no spam that can get through. But when somebody sends me something, it takes so long to get there. Like, we've sent you this message. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I think I ran into somebody recently with Ymail address.
Ymail? Jeez.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yahoo.
Oh, I don't know if our computer just hates it or not.
Yeah. Chimney Christmas. That's really bringing it out. Yahoo Mail. I think I had one back then. But yeah, I've stuck with the one because it's not broken. I'm not going to fix it. If I get fixed and have to start all over again, my gosh, I have entire continents blocked.
Yeah, I got multiple ones, but that's because I got to separate some things, and then like Old Reliable, the one where I just use where I don't care what goes in there.
Yep.
Somewhat important one.
Yeah.
The really important one, and then the one for my YouTubing or VTubing.
Yeah, I think people have more than one these days. I have two. I use one for the interviews and my regular one. I've got a few more out there that I used because, like, I have to get into things and give them an email, which is why good old Gmail comes around. You should use that burner and get it in there, because they sure send me stuff on. If they're gonna spam me, they're gonna use Gmail. That's the way it's gonna work. So
fair enough, yeah.
So are you pleased with how you've been able to grow so far?
Somewhat. Like, I know why my growth is somewhat slow, but that's because I'm very regular due to, oh yeah, somebody called out. You have to stay at work for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then I collapse when I get home and have to be at work the next day at 6:30.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one can blame you for that, crying out loud. That's when you have a schedule like that and you're basically at somebody else's whim, as far as scheduling goes. It's very tough to keep it regular, and it seems to be a real constant for folks to have that organic growth, to be able to say I'm 8 o'clock every night this night, or every time every week, and people can hook onto it. But when do you think you've got a pretty good rock solid group of people who are coming down to your streams whenever you come on at this point?
You got one or two who try their best to make it, but also normally I'm streaming about this time, which is almost a dead zone on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm keeping you from your zone.
I did mine much earlier today because I couldn't sleep last night. I'm like, stream into this and then raid into Mysticura.
Yeah.
I get to rarely raid into them whenever I stream.
Oh, I would be really, if I couldn't sleep and came on and went on live, it would be a nightmare because I wouldn't have a net like I do now. I could say something really bad and edit it out before anybody hears it. Without the net, I'm like, make sure I take my meds before we go on. Don't want to be offending people too much at this point.
Just keep the caffeine bottle on standby.
Yes. It's is it now a big part of your life, VTubing, or is it something that you could walk away from easily?
I think it's a big enough part where I could not walk away from it easily at all.
Yeah. It's once you kind of get that feeling of reaching the world, even if it's only a couple of people, it could be people on each hemisphere. There's something that's just grabby about that. You don't want to walk away from that.
Yeah. Small family that you build up.
Yeah, and you just want to keep going at it. Well, I think you're going to be perfectly fine at it. You got a really good attitude going into this, and we'll be waiting for the event coming up later this year. Please let me know so we can promote it, and make sure you get it on the Discord and on the other socials as well, so I can forward it to everybody too. Because we want.
Yeah, I'll probably about a month beforehand when I got all the background stuff I need done.
Yeah,
that's when I'll get the thing, and that way I can basically do a countdown. Excellent. And hype it up a bit more. Excellent.
You let me know what we can do to help. I really do appreciate you coming on, and I hope that everything flies well for you. I think you're gonna make sure it does, because again, you just grit your teeth and go through it.
Yeah, and thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.